Yo, how's it going, everyone? It is that time once again. We are back for the Dokkan early stream. It is first thing on a Friday morning. So we got the World Tournament starting in just under 30 minutes. We have the first worldwide celebration teaser was posted 3 hours ago. So UK time, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. So obviously your boy was asleep. I've seen some interesting things posted already. Obviously, people speculating all sorts of different things, but I've seen some interesting thing that Minato just posted, which is potentially, well, I don't want to say it's a spoiler, because obviously no one really knows for sure what the teaser thing actually is, but yeah, I'm just looking at his post now just to double check, but I mean, we're going to talk speculation and theories on it. So if for some reason, if you're someone who wants absolutely no even potential spoilers or whatever, then be aware that that is a thing. But yeah, I've just tried it myself. Let me try the other things that people are saying. So Nimbus. The cloud, obviously. I'm sure you all know this, but Nimbus. Yeah, see, so it's only people saying that it could be. All right, so basically, we'll get the tweet up here with the teaser. For if you haven't seen it, we'll show the teaser without the sound, because yeah, it's 3 AM Tuesday. I already checked it because when I pre-ordered it, it gives you an exact time for when it comes out. So obviously, for me, I won't be playing it as soon as it comes out because it comes out at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is annoying. Right, so this is the teaser that they posted at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I got a boat. There's a thing you can see. I missed it in the first clip, actually, but you can see it's like... Go back. It's like there. There's something like flying past in the sky very slowly. And then there it is over a beach somewhere. And then there it is over night sky in Japan or China. I can't tell kanji from Chinese symbols apart. But there you go. That was the whole teaser. So, as always with these very initial teasers, it could be literally anything. A lot of people speculating about the Nimbus, a lot of people speculating about the Saiyan pods, a lot of people speculating it could be a comet, which of course is a big factor in the first Broly movie. Other people saying that it could be literally Broly crashing to Earth at the, to set up the second Broly movie. Now the interesting thing, and this is where it's like, I mean, I'm not saying it's a spoiler because we don't know 100%, but it certainly is very interesting, and I've just tried it myself. If you search for Broly on Twitter, just Broly, you don't even have to put Dokkan. If you search for Broly, it comes up with that tweet from Dokkan. And Minato shared it saying like, hey, I've just tried this and this works. And he even said, someone in the replies said, well, is it just coming up with that because loads of people in the comments are saying that it could be Broly? But lots of people in the comments are saying it could be Nimbus, Saiyan pods. And if you try searching for those things, it doesn't come up with that tweet. So when you specifically, if you search for Broly, it comes up with that tweet. So now the thing that I find confusing about that is you can't put tags in tweets. So I don't know how that works because the tweet itself doesn't say Broly anywhere. So I don't know why it would come up when you search for Broly. It's not like a YouTube video or an Instagram post or something where you can put a bunch of tags. And then when somebody searches for that thing, your post might come up. But I mean, you can literally do it yourself. If you have Twitter, go to Twitter now and just search for Broly. And one of the first things that comes up is that tweet from Dokkan. But if you search for like Nimbus or Saiyan pods or something, it doesn't come up. So not really sure how or why that works, but could be interesting. I mean, people have been speculating about it being Broly or movies related for a while, so definitely could be the case. But as always, as we said, with these initial teasers, they don't. They could be anything half the time. I mean, one of the first replies to the tweet is from Goresh saying this could literally be anything. I think you can with Twitter Premium. I suppose because I guess the Dokkan account is verified, isn't it? The problem is I don't know how it works with, like, now that loads of people are saying the thing about Broly, maybe that makes it more likely to come up as well. I don't know. But yeah, if I search Broly, it's the top result, and then the next one is the Minato tweet saying this is legit, search Broly right now. So yeah, I don't know. Just did it, and yeah, first thing that came up was the Dokkan tweet. Yeah, typed in Broly and the tweet showed up. So yeah, I mean, that could be an indication if they do have, like, if you can, then I guess if the official Dokkan is verified, if you can put tags in tweets that people can't see, because even on, like, actually I don't know if other people see them, but like with TikTok you put like hashtag like tags. I don't know if people who go to see the video see those, because obviously we can't see anything on that post that says Broly anywhere. But yeah, be interesting to see. Yeah, Big Husky, how'd your UI summons go? Gone to 90% in the 3 discount. Damn, that's ridiculous. Oh, yeah, after being shafted like crazy during the main anniversary banners. Well, that's good to have a little bit of the old turnaround in luck.
All right, let's do this.
But yeah, so interesting stuff. I'm trying to think when last year, how long it was before they put out like the different teasers. Because obviously the first one last year was very. I mean, in retrospect, obviously you can look back and say for last year, the first one, it was like, oh, it's obviously the model of the time machine. But, and I mean, some people did guess that after the very first teaser came out. But yeah, certainly interesting. If Worldwide is Broly themed, I think the fact Tech LR Broly still doesn't have an EZA. Well, yeah, Tech LR Broly is, I think, the oldest, like, premium unit. He's definitely the oldest LR that doesn't have an EZA yet. So I'll get the second channel link put in the chat. We're carrying on with our Red Dead playthrough last night. There probably won't be. There's not going to be a lot of second channel streams with the World Tournament being this weekend until the start of next week. But we will be playing the Black Myth Wukong when it releases. Should be Tuesday. I will not be heavily grinding the World Tournament now. Well, we'll be doing a bit. I'll be doing a little bit later today, and then tomorrow we'll be doing like a fairly long stream for the day. Potentially, and then Sunday I will be out for the day, so probably not doing a lot of grinding. And since Sunday's the last day, I'm not going to want to like finish up with my plans for the day and then spend the last part of the evening just grinding the World Tournament. So the last couple of World Tournaments have been really awkward. Either this one is at like bad timing for me when I have stuff to do, and then also like the last one, they announced it literally like 3 days before it came out. But yeah, we'll be doing some grinding, but like, I guess the interesting thing is now that we have an actual World Tournament reward again, because obviously we get the new Yamcha, the more places, like the higher the placement you finish, the more copies of him you get. But realistically, you only need to get, I think you get 1 copy guaranteed by doing the missions, and then that means you only really need to, if you want to rainbow him straight away, you only need to finish in a high enough placement that you get 4 extra copies. So I'll have to see what those settings are. But yeah, we have the World Tournament starting in 17 minutes. I'm not going to be starting the tournament straight away, but we get all of the EZA'S and Awakenings and stuff at the time that it starts. So we are going to be jumping straight in and doing the showcases for
let's do this.
The Super Saiyan 2, Great Saiyan Man, and Tech Cell. Oh, I guess he could be, actually. I just assumed that he was going to be the World Tournament Award. But that is a very good point. He could just be a new card added to the Dragon Ball Saga banner, which would kind of suck, because then really difficult to actually get him. Not that it necessarily matters, because it's not like you need to have him. He's okay, but... well, kind of. It's the first time JP and Global's having a World Tournament at the same time, but it's also not really fully synced because the Global one starts an hour and a half before the JP one. So... It's in the DB Saga banner. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That makes more sense, I guess. I mentioned it in that video yesterday, and I don't think anyone said anything in the comments, but I just assumed when we see new SSR for the World Tournament, I was like, oh, we're getting a new World Tournament reward card finally. But I guess not. I guess they're sticking with the worldwide. Yeah, because I mean, I guess for now, for the last one, it makes sense, right? Because the games aren't synced yet. But as people have said, like, after this worldwide and the fact that the games have synced, it then is kind of pointless to call it the worldwide celebration, because every celebration is a worldwide celebration after that. Now, I was starting early is excellent, because it means I can do the Cell and Gohan showcases before they're even available on JP, so it's good for me.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, hopefully they'll change it in the future, because it's, yeah, the fact that it's still the same length, and then the JP one starts the same day, although an hour and a half later, and is shorter, which is weird. Starts later and ends sooner. Great. I mean, good if you're a JP player, I guess. Right. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, none of the EZA'S are particularly worth getting excited about. I made sure to waste Piccolo's intro and active animation on SBR so I don't see it in World Tournament. Oh, what, do you have your thing set to like once per day? I just make sure they're turned off for the World Tournament. Yo, shout out to Darkside for re-upping his channel membership. Ningen Club member for 24 months. Let's go. He says, yo, I got that diamond mask. Hell yeah. So yeah, the 2-year badge. You love to see it. Physical Ribrienne is okay. I mean, physical Ribrienne is good. Like, gets to some good numbers. But A, it's Ribrienne, so who cares? And then B, like, what team are you running her on, realistically? Because with how ridiculously buffed, like, the Universe Survival Saga team is now, with all the reps of Universe 7 EZA'S and stuff like that, like, I can't really think of any of the big units that are out at the moment, or that we have available now, that I would run her over. So, hello. The Menace is here already. And no, I don't mean Mega Nice. Special pose, I guess. I mean, I guess that's fine if you pull Topo, I suppose. Because that's the thing, if you didn't pull Topo, your best way of running a Universe Survival Saga team is going to be with, like, Tech UI or the reps of Universe 7 characters. And then she's not better than any of those units on that team. So... I mean, she can get up to if you get 4 rainbow orbs, which I guess is not always something that's going to happen every turn. She gets like 88% chance to dodge. So it's like, on the one hand, do you want to give her that much dodge in the hidden potential? Because every turn you get 4, if you do get 4 rainbow orbs, then it feels like giving her dodge in the hidden potential was kind of a waste. The problem is with the character, because of the character that she is and everything, it just all comes down to things like links and stuff like that. Like you can run her on a lot of teams, but there's not a lot of teams that she's better than other units that you could be running instead. Because like Kale's team is kind of eh. Plus for Kale herself and characters like Caulifla that you run on Kale's team, you want Universe 6 characters, not... I mean, Universe 6 and Peppy Gals, so that's okay, I guess, but... I mean, she's definitely good. Like, she's not a bad EZA, but it's definitely not one that I am particularly bothered for. Did I put them all on the future EZA tab already? Yes. Can't wait to be sleep deprived for 3 days straight. Going ham on this World Tournament then, are you? Make sure you guys hit that like button. What did I do the build for mine? Because I didn't change it. She was already rainbowed way before the EZA, so... additional and then a bit of crit. I don't really know what the... Like I say, I guess you don't really need to give her a lot of dodge because she can get up to 88% dodge chance anyway. She does stack her supers do stack her attack and defense quite a lot, so additionals is good. Plus, also she has a giant form, so like, if she transforms into the giant form and is therefore invincible, then all of the dodge that you give her is pointless then as well. So, World Tournament starts in 9 minutes. Well, what I mean is she has like the one giant form, but she can use it twice. It's the same form, I mean. Like she has a giant form. She doesn't have like 2 different ones. But yeah, it can go off twice. The annoying thing is it's one of those ones that's complete RNG, so it doesn't allow you to plan. Like if it was an active skill one, then obviously she would be considerably better because it allows you to use it when you want it and save yourself from a potential, like, you know, Beast Gohan in the final phase, super attack in slot 1. Whereas because it's just a random chance that you could get it, then it could happen in like the very first phase. Now she does have the 2, so hopefully you don't get both of them super early. I think it's only a rare chance as well, which is like 10 or 15%. So that means there would be times where you would do events and you potentially wouldn't even see the giant form at all. But hey, stop trying to grab my beard. Little menace. No. You're being a little terror. It's too early for your shenanigans. I mean, I guess it's like the World Tour. They did so many World Tournaments in a short space of time this year just to catch up to JP. And obviously now we are, so... But yeah, we talked about the teaser on Twitter. I did show it at the beginning of the stream. It's an interesting one because, as always, with these initial teasers, it's not really obvious what it is, which I guess is the whole point, right? Because the whole point of doing the teasers like that is because they want people to speculate and talk about it and stuff, so they're not going to make it super obvious straight away what it is. Starting this world tournament with stamina being overlapped from a rank up, I have over 500 plus stamina to start with. Nice. Yeah, I miss those days of actually being able to rank up and getting free stamina. I haven't been able to do that for a while, being at rank 999. One day they do the... Yeah, imagine that. They increase the maximum rank thing to 9,999. I mean, that would be great just for the fact that I'd be able to level up again. You just keep coming back, eh? Oh, don't fall off me. I'm so close to 6.5. Yeah, it would take years, because it took years to get from rank 1 to get to rank 999. So, imagine if they added another 9,000 ranks. That'd be crazy as well, because obviously every time you rank up, you get like more stamina and stuff. So you'd end up having such a ridiculously high maximum stamina amount. Right, so we've got 4 minutes until it actually starts. Oh, an extra stamina every 10 ranks. Yeah, I imagine it probably wouldn't be a lot, because if they did it like the normal one, I'm not sure what the normal rate even was, to be honest, but like imagine how much stamina you'd have after ranking up a few times. I mean, for people who link level a lot as well, even though you do need a lot of XP to rank up once you start getting to this high levels, like you would rank up quite a bit, I imagine, if you were just like flat out link leveling quite a lot. The thing about the recent change to the team function is you can use it to always have your team set for World Tournament without worrying about bringing the wrong team. Wait, can you? Always have your team set for the World Tournament. What are you looking at? Yeah, because once you set a team, it stays locked on. Oh, nice. Okay, good. Because yeah, that was always the most annoying thing, is like you do some World Tournament, then you come out to do like your daily missions or something, and then all of a sudden you go to jump back into the World Tournament and it's like on your link level team instead of the team you just used like 50 times. And because you're not paying attention and going in like auto mode, you just immediately press start without realising it was on the wrong team. I'm sure we've all done that. I see people in the chat every World Tournament being like, no, I've gone into the World Tournament with my link level team. So, yeah, it looks like a shooting star or like Comet or something. Based on some other like behind the scenes-y type things, a lot of people think it's either the Comet from the first Broly movie or Broly crashing to Earth for the setup for the second Broly movie. And we've all speculated movies and stuff for ages. We want Tech Broly to get an EZA in Broly. I mean, Broly's one of those things. It's like, we obviously got Broly. It's funny because for Global, we just got Broly as part of the anniversary. Although it was, of course, the Dragon Ball Super Broly, not Z Broly. But Z Broly has always been like one of the most popular characters in the franchise, especially outside of Japan. So they know that big like Broly-themed stuff will sell well. Yeah, shout out to Aaron Hawley for re-upping his membership. Been Game Club member for 15 months. Used my last stones for UI and pulled garbage. Oh no. Was it? Are you I'm assuming past the discounts at this point. And then shout out to Drace for re-upping his membership. 35 months. Oof. 1 month away from the 3-year badge. Let's go. 1 more month until 36. Yep. Monkey King soon cometh. Yep. Next week, Tuesday. Unfortunately, it does release, like I say, at 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So I won't be streaming it as soon as it comes out because I will be asleep. But we'll be streaming it later on that day. It is indeed time. Come on, you. You have to go now. Although you probably end up coming back again. But it's physical. Shout out to Warzone for re-upping his membership. Lobster Squad member for 10 months. So 2 months away from the gold badge. It's physical Rhiannon time. Well, there we go. So World Tournament will now officially have started. The EZA'S and stuff will be available. Information on Extreme Z Awakening. Yep, so all those guys, all sub EZA'S, so you can have had the medals farmed up for them already. The 50-second World Tournament. These Extreme Z battles are back so that you can get the medals for the sub EZA'S. And then they always do, yep, every World Tournament. There's the reminder about account suspensions if you do anything dodgy. But there you go. So all of these guys are awakened now. I'm going to start putting World Tournament brackets pain in the game announcements. Yep, that's fair. That's understandable. Right, so let's get these guys EZA'd then, shall we? We're going to start off by doing the Cell and the Gohan, because we know we're going to showcase them. And they are very good, so... Well, so many of those Beerus Planet ones, I never used them. Yeah, I've got like a spare copy, so there's not much point. I've got so many Kais, I don't need to worry about getting a random farmable unit to be his super attack fodder. I should have built Great Saiyan Man. Well, the STR one. I mean, he does. I think he's relying on raw defense, and he does raise on. Well, none of those physical guys worked, and he relies on raw stats, so probably dodge, and then the rest additional in case he gets a second super. Because you ideally would want him to get a second super to raise his defense again, but he doesn't have any like damage reduction, guard, any of that good stuff, so he's just relying on raw defense, which against the hardest hitting bosses in the game is not ideal. At least Cell has damage reduction when you're fighting one enemy, so that is a bit better for him. Oh, the physical one. I mean, he also benefits from additional supers. No, the data download was a couple of days ago. It was, well, the data download technically was when the maintenance happened. Like, basically, once the maintenance was over, the files had been updated. So we knew about, like, World Tournament and stuff like that. Now we have to do this dance of, like, how many times are we going to have to use a Grand Kai before it actually works. Yeah, Topo, the Int Topo, all those sub EZA'S are out today. That's in the news now as well. Finally pulled Tech UI after 1k stones. Nice, nice. Alright, so yeah, you are now EZA'd. Alright, I don't have any more World Tournament medals, so... I mean, he's definitely not the worst World Tournament EZA. He's definitely, like, in terms of these EZAs... Oh, yeah, these have been updated now as well. So Mr. Boo is available with the Hercule signatures if you don't have him.
Strong. I'm getting pretty excited.
I have a spare SA5 copy of the physical one for his EZA. That's good.
All right.
2. No. And these Grankais, or Dozing Kais.
All right.
Yeah, World Tournament is definitely a much more difficult and annoying grind if you don't have a lot of AoE characters.
All right.
Oh god. But yeah, I need to do these two first and get their showcase videos recorded and put up straight away because they are available for global before JP. So that means I can get ahead of the JP boys by getting these showcases up straight away. I want to do Cell first. I think Cell will be really good. Just need to double check what 200% teams he's on. If we could actually get this last Grand Kai to work. Who's better, 55% Tech UI, Goku, or Topo? Probably Topo. Oh, sorry, probably Tech UI, because like once he transforms, he has the argument for being the best unit in the game. Right. So, where is he? Cell. Yeah, no late stream tonight. There's no no podcast episode tonight. Paragus Twitter account searched probably in a different language and the tweet still popped up. Yeah, I think that is a pretty big indication. Like, okay, so he's got a lot of 200% teams, but he supports artificial life forms and tournament participants. So you don't want to run him on a team where he's not actually giving support to anyone or to the right people. So you probably just run him on the Boo team. Do I have a Boo team set up already? Yeah. Like, I guess I could take you off. But let's go to link tool. Does he have big bad bosses? He does. He does mostly link with cell units though, which is understandable but also annoying. Oh right, it's because of sworn enemies and then worldwide chaos. I mean, I guess we could put this guy on the team. Kid Boo has big bad bosses. There'll be a couple of units floating because we'll just keep the Boos in slot 1. Oh, Dokkan info making everything go super slow. This isn't the World Tournament. I know, right? This is our get ahead of JP with showcases that aren't available on JP yet stream. I know, right? Global advantages. I can't use this cell. Exactly. Imagine LR Kid Buu being locked to World Tournament. That would be so funny. We joked about that on the podcast already a few times, that like, you know, if they know about this big meme of like everybody wants a thing, everybody wants an LR Kid Buu, so it'd be funny if they did it and just made it like a Prime Battle LR or something. So we want to be fighting a superclass enemy, so we probably will do... I guess it makes sense to just do one of the earlier stages for this. The Goku one is usually good, although of course we got tech unit, so he's going to take more damage, but... Yeah, no, I noticed it straight away, because obviously for the data download I saw that everything was available at 7:30, and when I saw that it was 7:30, then I was like, oh, does that mean the JP one is starting earlier, or are we actually having ours start before JP? I did see your thing about the worldwide, like searching for Broly, though, which I did also try and does work, so that's interesting. Where's all the int... Wait, what? Where's all the int boos? I've used boo on this stage before. How are there no int boo friends? Restrictions of Omega and the kit of Super 17. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we haven't had a Prime Power LR for ages. The tweet comes up when you search Broly in Japanese as well. Well, there you go. I mean, what more confirmation do you need, I guess? I don't... maybe you know, because this is the thing I was saying before, is I don't understand why it does that, though, because you can't put, like... Can you put tags in tweets? But, like, surely not ones that people can not see, right? So, like, we would be able to see that the tweet has a tag for Broly in it, right? Or at least that's what I would have thought, but... Yeah, Beefy has it going. Yeah, all is good. I'm just checking the 200% teams for Saiyaman too, because, okay, he's got the AGL, Super Saiyan 3, Angel Goku, God Goku, Topo, but we're not going to be running Topo. You need to run... Actually, no, that's the physical one, isn't it? You need to run Exploding Rage characters. We don't need to run Exploding Rage characters of him. He just buffs... Defenders of Justice or tournament participants, which a lot of the characters on the team are just not going to be on, which is kind of weird. I mean, he still buffs a super class 3 key and attack and defense 30%, which is good, but... Because, yeah, we'll have to do an extreme event to do the Boo, the Saiyaman. So probably we'll just do this team and take off. I mean, the problem is, again, I should have checked his links before closing Dokkan info. It's just annoying because it makes everything go so slow. Link tool, Saiyaman 2. And then, of course, it takes ages to load. He has 5 links of Broly and Trunks. High School Gohan. Yeah, it's like no one that we'd be running on this team, pretty much. 4 links. Ugh. Yeah, his links aren't particularly great with, like, anyone that we're running on the team. Although if we're running him on rotation for a showcase, I probably won't be bringing these guys, so... Underworld Warriors or Accelerated Battle. What about Accelerated Battle? See if some of these other guys are on there. OST, next OST is taking ages to load as well because of Dokkan info, so let's close that. See, I need more, like, it just has to be other, like, Super Saiyan characters, really. Obviously not Saiyaman 2, because they have the same name. I mean, he links kind of well with High School Gohan as well. I mean, we could take you off and put Int Gotenks on, because then he becomes a Super Saiyan. Because, yeah, if we do the Saiyaman 2 one first, then if there's... that'll refresh the friends list, and then the Boo will be there. Because there definitely will be a Goku friend. I say, and then get this guy. Oh, it's there already anyway. Good old Dokkan friends list though, eh? Right, so that one is 79%. I mean, if the Boo's going to show up already, I should just do the Cell one first, because I do think Cell is better than Gohan. So it's probably better to get the Cell one out first. Yeah, shout out to Beefy McWhatNow for the $2 super chat. It says, everyone please hit that like button, helps a lot. True. We have over 150 people in the stream and about 50 likes on the stream. So we have almost 100 people in the stream right now that have not liked the stream. So do go ahead, hit that like button. We're going to showcase this Cell. In fact, before we forget, his is probably not even that great, but let's put the sticker on him now that he has an EZA. Yeah, it's not terrible. Yeah, the main unit always EZAs before the side unit most of the time. Sometimes they do them both at the same time. But we've had some recently, especially with like Dokkan Fest LRs and stuff, but it's very rare that the side banner unit EZAs before the unit that they came out with. Right.
All right, let's do this.
Don't be in slot 7. Nice, he's on turn 1. And he's on turn 1 with tech support cell as well. Good stuff. Yo, Baba Yaga, how's it going? First right now. Nice. Yeah, straight on it, I see. Alright. Not a lot of orbs for you, which is annoying. But... not that it really matters. You're not you don't need orbs anyway. So let's do that. Okay. Right. So tech cell. Let's get this done then, shall we? See how good this guy is. Hey guys, Marsinger here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so with the start of the next World Tournament, we do have the EZA'S available. I had medals left over spare because some of these World Tournament units from the past I have not EZA'd, so we've been able to EZA the Tech Cell straight away, and we are going to showcase him here and see what he can do. I think from reading their details on paper, he seems better than the Gohan, especially with a lot of the content that we're getting now being against superclass enemies. But we're going to check him out and see how well he can do. So he's full level 10 links, Rainbow. I've given him mostly additional and then a little bit of dodge. Obviously, we'll explain that as we see his kit. His super attack is massively raise attack and defense for 1 turn, supreme damage to the enemy. So massively raise is a 100% raise. So that's really good. And then he gets attack and defense 200%. He gives extreme class allies 3 key and 30% attack and defense, as well as an additional attack and defense 10% for characters who also belong to artificial life forms or tournament participants. Now, bear in mind, it does say additional for characters who also. So if you're running like a super class tournament participant character, they don't just get 10%. It has to be extreme. They get 40% if they're in the right category, or they get 30%, right? So he gets an additional attack and defense 100% when attacking if there's a superclass enemy. He gives superclass enemies 20% attack minus and minus 60% defense, reduces damage received by 30% when facing only one enemy, and launches an additional super attack when facing 2 or more enemies. So the interesting thing for him is he gets 100% when attacking from his passive, but then he also gets 100% from doing his super attack. So he gets a pretty significant buff. You can see here on this turn, we're running him on the Int Boo team, because of course Int Boo, full team of extreme, well, I guess there are the odd super one like Mr. Boo, but full team of extreme artificial life forms characters. So Cell will be supporting all of these guys for 3 key and 40% to stats. We have some characters like the tech support Cell, who obviously gives him a massive buff, but also has big bad bosses like the physical Kid Boo and physical Boo Tanks when we transform him. Because yeah, this guy does have big bad bosses. So even on a team where he's not being run with any artificial life forms or tournament participants characters, he's still supporting all extreme allies by 30%, and he's a big bad bosses unit. So obviously once he does a super, he's getting an 100% buff like twice. So he's going to be at what, 700 and just over 750k, which is not crazy, but he does also have 30% damage reduction, which is good. So we'll go ahead and do this. Now obviously he does have a lot of support on this turn, because the tech cell does give him 60%. But yeah, we'll see what he gets to here for his first attack. I do, of course, if possible, would like to see him actually eat a super a little bit further into the stage, but we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, for tanking the big boss super attacks, 30% damage reduction isn't an insane amount, which is why I gave him a load of additional, because if you get that double super, that's the 100% raise again. So if he double supered on this turn, 8.8, that's pretty good. For a support unit, remember, 8.8. If he double supered on this turn, he would have 1 million defense with 30% damage reduction, which is pretty good. Yeah, this guy can be attack lowered as well, so that's the thing. He's one of these units that has the passive attack lowering, which is really good, because he doesn't even actually have to do anything. So it's before he even attacks, the enemy is being attack lowered. And that's the thing, we do have quite a few events now where you can attack lower some of the phases of these bosses. So having a character who does it directly from their passive and you don't actually have to hit them first is certainly always useful. But yeah, the tech cell on this guy's 200% team, because Worldwide Chaos, Sworn Enemies. I think Sworn Enemies is part of the 170, and then yeah, Worldwide Chaos is the plus 30 for this Int Boo. Because Sworn Enemies is basically like freezers, boos, and cells. So there's some good crossover there with some of the links, especially stuff like obviously getting some units on here with big bad bosses. So that's why we'll float Kid Boo off here, get a rotation where we can have Kid Boo in slot 3. I guess we'll keep you here. How many? You don't share any links with the Int Fat Boo. Now, obviously, if we weren't doing a showcase, we would just be running him floating in slot 3. So he only shares shocking speed with Boo Tanks, which puts him at 174 defense, which means he's at what, like 350, 450, so like 525k after supering, which it's not crazy. So but obviously we're going to keep him on rotation. We'll get, when we get that Boo Tanks back next, he'll be able to transform, and then he'll have big bad bosses. So go ahead and do this. Yeah, links definitely are going to make a big difference, especially as always, like big bad bosses is a link that makes a very significant difference whether you have it active or not, right? Because 25% is a pretty significant increase, and then especially for a character who's getting a buff on super, especially a 100% buff, you want their thing to be as high as possible. Yeah, see 4.8. That massive difference. We basically lose like 4 million attack stat because we don't have the links and the support. We did get the additional super though, so that gives us a significantly higher defense for this turn. What did I say? We got up to like 525, so we would have been on about 700k. So I mean 700k with 30% damage reduction. I mean you're taking double digits from a million damage super attack in that case. But the problem is a lot of these bigger bosses now are hitting for way more than that. So especially in these blue zone stages, like when we get to the final boss, we're potentially going to take a lot of damage from a big super. But obviously this has kind of always been the case. It's not something I would hold against this unit in particular, but when it comes to floating slot 3 support units, obviously we're not expecting them to be tanking super attacks from the biggest bosses in the game. So we'll go ahead and do this. So it's funny because having these guys on the team, like the tech second form cell is at least supporting like the evil boo on this turn. Would be supporting the cell, but we wouldn't be running in on rotation normally. I guess you've got like the tech evil boo banner unit as well. There's the tech Mr. Boo. There's a few tech units on this team, so the cell isn't the worst like choice in the world. Well, I think we don't actually have enough tech units for him to have his full passive active. Yeah, we should have. We'll have Cell with Kid Boo on this next turn. Because Kid Boo providing a lot of support, as well as the Big Bad Boss's Link. Yeah, so they literally just share Big Bad Bosses. So again, this would be probably his biggest problem with any team that doesn't have a lot of other cell units, is some of these links. Because obviously, again, we could do this, but we want to keep him on rotation. Because he has links like Gentleman, Messenger from the Future, which you're not going to get active often, Ultimate Life Form. He's a Shattering the Limit unit. So on a lot of teams, like, you know, you could get like Big Bad Bosses and Nightmare, maybe. Especially on teams if you're running like the Zamasus and Goku Blacks. Nightmare's a fairly common link for some of them. But yeah, unfortunately his links are certainly not the best. But my Fat Boo is 55%, so I don't think I need to worry about him killing Goku here. But yeah, 238k. So we have about 750k defense after supering if we super once. And then almost 1 million defense if we super twice. So I would say he's pretty good for a floating support unit. I mean, against these toughest events in the game, like, you know, we've got at the moment on Global the first 4 stages of the Universe Survival Saga Blue Zone. Probably wouldn't be taking this guy up against like Blue Evolution Vegeta in stage 4, but you could probably get away with running him against AGL final bosses, especially superclass enemies. Like, he'll be tanking normals very well. Because even like after just one super, if he's at about 750k, he would tank 1 million damage attack for double digits because of the 30% damage reduction. Because 1 million damage obviously minus 30%, 700k, he's at around 700k defense. So he'd be tanking normals perfectly fine. It's just obviously he's one of those units that if the RNG goes against you and he's the one that takes a super, you get hit with a super in slot 3. Then he's probably going to die. So it just is what it is. But it's good for this team for another support unit. Because I mean, as if the Boo team wasn't already good enough, right? You can have Kid Boo floating. You can now have this guy floating. He gives everyone on the team 3 key, 40% attack and defense. So I think he's definitely an interesting addition. Especially for like the Boo team, I feel like is really, really good. But it's at its best, funnily enough, of course. It's not like there's nothing groundbreaking, but when you have all of the units available. But when you're missing 1 or 2 of the units, then it becomes really difficult for some of these harder bosses. Because like I didn't have the tech side banner Evil Boo for a while. So then when I was trying to run like the full Boo team, I'd have to take the risk of running characters like AGL Super Boo, who can still be good, but in certain events if he's not guarding, then you can take some big damage, or like the physical EZA Boo tanks who can be decent against enemies that you can attack lower. But like if you're missing a couple of those units, the Boo team has like those big main 6 characters you want to run. and then it's like everybody else is a tier at least below them, whereas this guy makes another interesting unit that you could put on that team to be supporting everybody, and it would work quite well. So yeah, 254. Obviously his best rotation is going to be with this other cell, providing him tons of support and the links as well. So do this, and then we'll do this. Of course he's going to super Fat Boo straight. Watch him kill Fat Boo here, and we just get the revival and don't get to see Tech Cell attack. But yeah, I mean, this is a character that whilst we're going him now, and he can be decent, we're still very much due a new cell, right? We need a new, like, actual standalone perfect cell. Differently named to this guy, ideally, of course. But then even if he's not, if the new cell is a good slot 1 unit, this guy then would make it onto that team as a floating support. I think he's well placed in the meta because he gets the buff from there being a superclass enemy. That's where Gohan, I think, is going to fall short a little bit, because a lot of the new difficult content that we're getting out now is against superclass enemies. So he's not going to be as good. But like with the support, with the links, like he hits a relatively decent attack stat. I suppose your biggest problem is on this Boo team, until you get the Boo tanks transformed, and then depending on what you're running as your rotations, he's not going to have a lot of options for characters that are giving him big bad bosses if he's floating. Because obviously, like, if you transform Boo tanks, I guess if you're running in Boo in slot 1 on both turns, then that works, because you can have Boo in the LR Boohan in slot 2 once he's transformed with big bad bosses, and then obviously the cell floating, they're going to share shocking speed and big bad bosses. But otherwise, you know, like, sometimes you can change your rotation, I guess, to be running like the LR Boohan with Kid Boo on rotation, because then of course that supercharges Boohan. That turn would actually be insane. Get LR Boohan transformed next to Kid Boo and then have this cell in slot 3. So LR Boohan's getting what, like 90% support on that turn? Does Kid Boo give 60% now when you're above the HP threshold? So you'd be getting like 100% support, which would be ridiculous. Because yeah, once they're transformed, shocking speed, big bad bosses. I mean, obviously he survived with the tiniest sliver of health, so we're not even going to get to see. Well, I guess we could just do this. No, I shouldn't have done that first. God damn it. That kills him anyway. Yeah, well. I always forget about the int Boo thing. The fact that it's an attack. So obviously I was like, oh, we'll do this and get rid of all of his attacks for the turn. Except it does damage as well, so it kills him. That's right, we can Ghost Usher this turn away. Get through to the next turn here. I won't hit the Dokkan attack. But yeah, he doesn't link super well with a lot of characters realistically. Like the Cell Juniors have always been an awkward unit because they don't share a lot of links with Cell characters, even though they want to be run with a Cell. Because yeah, the AGL Cell Juniors have got a nice little EZA for being like an artificial life forms support and team member. But yeah, I mean, I think his EZA is decent. If we compare it to some of the other World Tournament EZAs, obviously some of them have been terrible. I think it's nice to have a good Extreme one that is a good support for Extreme. The fact that he has the damage reduction against a single enemy is much better than Gohan getting an additional super, which then gives him some extra defense, but he doesn't have guard or damage reduction or anything, so he's not going to be tanking like big super attacks or anything. I don't know, I think Cell definitely has potential. He's a unit that could certainly be very useful if we do end up getting a new Cell, but yeah, like this is the kind of rotation that I'm talking about. Because yeah, he's Cell brackets perfect form, so we need a new Dokkan Fest just like perfect Cell. But Alright, well let's see. This is the role we would use him in if we were running him properly and not doing a showcase. So let's see just how well Buhan does on this turn here with all of this support. Thanks to Cell and Kid Buu. Yeah, 25.8 mil on his second appearance here. That's pretty good. So, yeah, Mr. Buu was definitely very good. I mean, he has the heal, which is nice, but like, the problem with Mr. Buu is he's good at tanking and the healing is nice, but like he doesn't really do any damage and he doesn't support. So he's a good body to throw on the team as a character that can defend recently well, but he's not like providing anything to the team. Whereas this Cell obviously is a support unit, has the damage reduction. I mean, he will tank all normals, I guess. Well, I say all normals. I guess when we get to some of the bosses that start really going crazy, it'll be a bit too much, but I think additional for the double super is really good. Getting another 100% raise, that's going to elevate his tanking to a fairly significant level. And he should be able to tank most normals. But yeah, to be fair, Mr. Boo's probably the best World Tournament EZA, so he kind of set the benchmark. But there you go. That is the Tech Cell on a 200% team. I think this is probably one of the better teams to run him on in terms of him getting the 200% lead. But of course, you can run him on any team he fits on to support all extreme characters, so that's obviously very, very good. So let me know what you guys think of Tech Cell down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one. Alright, so I'm just going to get that uploaded straight away, since we can, and then we'll go in and do the Gohan one next. But yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. Hey Toon, how's it going? Big Tuna in the chat. How's it going? Remember for a bit before I go to sleep. Sadly, my previous Discord account was disabled due to a scamming process from one of my DMs. Oh no. But everything's going okay over here. Down bad Levi. I'm ready for tonight. Next 3 days of grinding. Yeah, shout out to all the World Tournament grinders who are already on their grind. I'll be doing a bit of World Tournament stream later today. Make sure you guys check the schedule in the Discord. Don't beep at me. I'm trying to open all these windows because I'm trying to upload this video. The sanity grind. So World Tournament Tech. Perfect. So I guess he's technically Cell brackets perfect form, but should I just put, or should I just put Tech Cell? I could just put Tech Cell brackets perfect form, I suppose. Where's my cell thumbnail? There we go. Yeah, Froscadora, how's it going? Yeah, I thought the Yamcha was a World Tournament reward, but he's just from the DB Saga banner. Pilaf is a reward from the local bracket thing. So when the World Tournament is over, depending on where you placed in your local bracket, you will get a copy of him. I think it's like the top 150 spots you have to finish in. If you finish first in your local bracket, you get 2 copies of him. But right, so Rainbow, level 10 links, 200% lead showcase. Put them in those playlists. Right, so I'll put cell, tech cell, perfect cell, artificial life forms, X links, and level 10. World Tournament EZA'S already in there. I guess I can start taking all of the anniversary tags out of the thing here. Yeah, time to grind World Tournament. Damn. Oh, I see, yeah. Brutal. Time to make a video summoning for Yamcha. Nope. I mean, I probably will do some tickets to try and see if we can get him, but I'm not going to be doing, like... Considering he's from that DB Saga banner, I'll be lucky if I even get 1 copy of him. So I'm not going to do, like, a 55% level 1 links showcase for a random World Tournament banner unit. Such a weird, like, release side thing, I guess. I mean, they're not going to do new... I guess it just means that it shows that they're not going to do new normal World Tournament reward cards anymore, I guess. I think, do I even have any tickets, like, left for it? Oh, I have 2, because I used a bunch from last time, so... Here you go, we can do 2 multis and see what happens. It's not even guaranteed SSR on this banner. It's better to do multis. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. There's no, like, difference in the rates or anything. It just depends whether you want to do 7 at a time or 1 at a time. Yep, so not a single SSR. Sounds familiar. This Dragon Ball Saga banner has always been terrible. So, I think it's stupid that they released new characters. We got 4 characters flying in, which means we are going to get an SSR. But the problem is there's also a lot of SSRs in the banner, and most of them are old and terrible. So... STRTN. I mean, STRTN's kind of okay, but... Yeah, take it easy, Blazer Dragon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't need him. Well, maybe I do. Oh yeah, I needed 1. I actually genuinely needed 1 more copy. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I haven't even bothered farming his super attack, but yeah. Well, I got an SSR and it was one I actually could use, so I guess we'll take that. But yeah, that's it. That means that's all the tickets. So until I finish the World Tournament, I think you do get some along the way for the mission rewards. But it means, like, until I finish the World Tournament, I couldn't do any more summons on that banner, even if I wanted to. So, no Yamcha for me. Such a weird, like, why would you introduce a character, but, like, only on that banner, that you can only summon on with a limited number of tickets, and it's not even guaranteed SSR. Like, I imagine there'll probably be very few, unless people have been stockpiling tickets, I guess, but there'll be very few people that will actually have that Yamcha after this World Tournament. Alright, anyway, we're going to do the Saiyaman 2 showcase now. But yeah, the Cell video is up, so make sure you guys help out your boy and open up the link. Even if you just open it in a separate tab and let it play, because obviously the we have this is a global exclusive EZA for the next like 45 minutes. Because the World Tournament starts on JP in 45 minutes, and then the EZA will be available for them as well. So we're going to do the Saiyaman 2 one now. Yeah, Pablo, how's it going? This is our third World Tournament in 3 months, right? I think so. I think there was a gap between... There were two that were literally less than 30 days apart. Then there was a slightly longer gap. But yeah, the last one wasn't that long ago. But yeah, I mean, doing the bare minimum and doing the 30 million points worth of missions, you can get a decent amount of stones and stuff, so... But yeah, we had so many so quickly so we could catch up, and now we're synced, obviously. Like today, this is the first time that we're having a World Tournament at the same time. Well, we had the exact same luck as the Cell one, where we've got literally the first rotation is a slot 1 unit, our unit that we want to showcase, and his best link partner. I mean, what are the chances of that? Oh, I should have bought a rainbow senzu beans because this guy seals, but fortunately he sealed Goku. Oh, I didn't put the sticker on him, did I? Which his one would have been kind of cool because he has the orb, but I guess we'll have to do that afterwards. All right. Yeah, Gentmus, how's it going? It's not like you had 1 year to plan the sync. I know they announced it at the last worldwide celebration, and in the last year, like, someone said to me in a thing the other day on the comments on one of the videos, it was like, why are they spamming so much content like this close together right before the sync when we had the whole year for them to like randomly drop other stuff like early or whatever, which is very true. So, but yeah, it just is what it is, I guess. All right. Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so now we're going to take a look at the STR Super Saiyan 2 Great Saiyaman that just got his EZA with the release of this latest World Tournament. This guy and the Cell are essentially like global Super and Extreme like counterparts to each other. I think when they first released, their passives were almost identical apart from the Super and Extreme difference, whereas now, post EZA, they have a couple of different abilities. On paper, I think the Cell seems a little bit better, but we're going to take a look at the Gohan here. I suppose the Gohan straight out the gate has better links, right, with things like Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Lineage, even Shocking Speed. He has Hero of Justice, which is a really good link, but obviously is not going to be active a lot on the Hybrid Saiyans or like Super Saiyans teams. But here's a character that you can use with some of these characters like the Gammas, Topo, stuff like that. So we'll take a look at what he does. We're running him on the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku team from Golden Week, one of his 200% leads. So his super attack is he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, which is a 50% raise, supreme damage to the enemy, and lowers attack and defense. So that can be useful in some events. We also have Key 3, attack and defense 180%, additional attack and defense 20% with each attack performed up to 58%. So he starts off with lower start of turn stats than the Cell, but once he's attacked twice, he does then have higher stats than him, and he can attack 3 times to get the buff. He gives superclass allies 3 key, attack and defense 30%, and then an additional 10% for characters who belong to Defenders of Justice or tournament participants. So obviously he could work quite well with Topo and characters on that team. On this team, with a lot of the Buu Saga units, he's actually not going to be giving them the extra support. It's only going to be the 30%. He gets an additional attack and defense 58% when there's an extreme class enemy. Extreme class enemies attack minus 20%, defense minus 58%. Launches an additional super attack when facing 1 enemy, and guards when there are 2 or more enemies. So straight away, if you look at the comparisons between him and Cell, He can get slightly higher stats after he's attacked a couple of times for start of turn, but Cell gets 100% when attacking, and this guy doesn't. And Cell's super attack effect raises his attack and defense by 100%, whereas this guy only raises by 50%. And then the big thing when we're fighting some of these tough bosses in the game is when you're fighting one enemy, Cell has damage reduction, Gohan gets a guaranteed additional super attack, which, I mean, it is cool. He gets an extra super, he does a little bit of extra damage, he'll raise his defense again. But just by raising his defense again, that doesn't match up to like 30% damage reduction, right? Because it means he's just going to be raw defense. And guarding against 2 or more enemies, I mean, that's not going to be super relevant in really difficult content because there's not a lot of, if any, of these endgame events now, because we don't really count Super Battle Road anymore because of how easy it is. So he's going to struggle against some of these tougher bosses. But we'll see what he's looking like here. He's got a lot of links active with the High School Gohan, who was, of course, an EZA from the previous set of World Tournament units. They work really well together. He gets support from him as well. And we know we're going to get a guaranteed additional super. Let's see. So 4 million. Because we had what was, I mean, Cell had a 60% support unit on the rotation, but his first attack stat was like 8.8. So Gohan does a 4 point something into 5. His super attack animation is kind of cool, but... And then, yeah, obviously he's going to tank from this guy, physical enemy, for double-digit damage, but... Yeah, I mean, he's certainly an interesting one. He is a Super Saiyan 2 character, so Super Saiyan 2 is a category that's been long left lacking without updates and buffs and stuff. I guess interesting thing, like Super Saiyan 2 Super Battle Road came out not that long ago, and I know people were saying like it was one of the ones that was a little bit more difficult for some people because that team is just terrible and hasn't been buffed for ages. So I guess this guy is a good buff for that, because in Super Battle Road, when you're fighting multiple enemies, he's going to have guard. He doesn't get the guaranteed additional super though, so it means he potentially is just going to do 1 super attack. So even though he does then have guard, he's not going to have the highest like raw defense. So it's always very hit or miss with these World Tournament units when they get their EZA'S, because some of them have been very good, like the Mr. Boo. Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was decent when his EZA first came out as well. As the bosses then have started to hit harder, he's like a lot more of a liability. But I don't know why sometimes they kind of snap with these free-to-play EZAs, because the World Tournament cards are technically free-to-play units, right? And sometimes they do really great with them. That was a clutch dodge from Gotenks. I think we would have died otherwise. Sometimes they do really well, and then other times it's just like, why even bother? Because I'm never going to use this unit. Like, in theory, not this guy specifically, but like if a unit gets an EZA and it's just like, well, never going to use this guy, then it's like, what's the point of them even getting an EZA? But because we got 300k defense start of turn, but bear in mind he doesn't get any defense on super. He did attack twice last time, so he got the 220% buff, so he can get 1 more 20% buff from his passive, and then his super attack raise is like only the normal raise, not, well, it's greatly raised, not massively raised, 50%. So he's at what, like after this next attack, when he gets the 20% and gets the greatly raise, he'll be at about 500k, and he does get a guaranteed additional super. So yeah, I don't know, he's like at most on this kind of turn, he's at most at like 600k defense, but with no other defensive tech. And this is what I'm saying, right? Like Tech Cell has damage reduction. This guy doesn't have anything else. So that means even some of the hardest hitting bosses that we're starting to get now, like on a turn where he double supers, he'll still take damage from their normal attacks. Unless it is an enemy that can be attack lowered. Because obviously the passive attack lowering is nice. Double super, and then of course if you give him a decent bit of additional, like now, you could get the triple super turn. So he's raised his defense 3 times. So now he's probably closer to 700k defense. But again, that's then with no backup, like defensive tech or anything. So, you know, some normal attacks will still do damage to him if he only has 700k defense, but nothing else. And we're kind of way past, in the meta now, we're way past the point where that low level of raw defense with nothing else to back it up is good enough, right? So we'll do this. Do this. Yeah, the teaser thing, it could essentially almost be anything like space traveling warrior related. Because it could be a Saiyan pod, it could be the Nimbus, it could be a Meteor, it could be any other kind of spaceship. Like, it's very typical Dokkan first teaser where it's very open-ended. Could be anything. And then, of course, you know, in like a week or so when the thing is confirmed, there'll be multiple people who saw this first hint and had absolutely no idea, but they'll be like, oh yeah, it was so obvious right from the start. Because I swear that always happens. Oh, Goku not dodging the super. Dragon Fist Goku should be able to tank this okay, though. Yeah. High School Gohan being sealed a bit annoying. Yeah, another Raditz. I mean, a Namek Saga, like, Saiyan Saga, like LR Raditz. Imagine if it was actually good, though. Like, that would be cool. Alright, so on this turn we got Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, and the Saiyan lineage. 320k. So this is him with his passive fully built up. We got 320k defense. He gets 50% raise on super, gets a guaranteed double super. So at least after a double super, he's up to around 600k. But, as we've mentioned already multiple times, it's 600k defense, but like nothing else. So, if he gets hit with a super, he's probably just dead. I mean, maybe not in this phase, because he has type advantage, but against a more significant boss. And, as we mentioned in the Cell video, obviously Cell gets extra buffs against superclass enemies, which is what most of the latest releasing difficult content is versus. Whereas obviously this Gohan gets buffs versus extreme units, which we haven't had as many. I mean, we still get events versus extreme units, obviously. But Cell, I think, seems slightly better suited to the meta at the moment. Whereas this Gohan, it's nice to have that bit of extra support. And I mean, if you're throwing him onto the Topo team, he's giving a 40% support buff to units like Topo, Jiren, like... Some of that could be incredibly good with the extra bit of support from this Gohan. And I guess on some of those rotations, if like you've got LR Jiren like dropping an absolute bomb of like damage, then potentially you just kill the phase before the STR Super Saiyan 2 Saiyaman actually has to take a hit in slot 3, because he's providing that support and making them hit so much harder. But I'm just trying to think, because like the toughest bosses in the game at the moment, even if we think about extreme, none of them end with like physical phases. Because like this guy would get absolutely destroyed by Kid Buu. Because even though you can lower Kid Buu's attack, his passive attack lowering is only 20%. And then once Kid Buu starts to get built up, he's hitting for well over 1 million damage normals. Which means that this Gohan, if it was just a turn where he just got the normal like 2 supers, like the guaranteed additional, he'd be taking almost 500k, if not more, from Kid Buu's normal attacks. And that's once Kid Buu gets up to the point of doing 1 million damage normals, which he can potentially, when fully built up, hit even harder than that. So, not great. And then of course, if we think about the tough super bosses at the moment, super type bosses, we've got like the Beast Gohan event that ends with a physical phase, but is a superclass enemy. God, we're losing so much health because of this stupid Buu like ability. Let me do this. Get our post super defense buff here. If we get 360, you're at 195, so give you those. Because yeah, Hero of Justice is a link that gives 25% attack. So, pretty significant little extra bit of damage. But every character with a scout on their face or animation needs to have a link skill that gives 10% chance to scout supers. I mean, yeah, it's funny when characters who have a scouter don't have the scouter effect. But yes, Kid Buu just absolutely destroys this guy. So, I mean, he's certainly interesting. I think seeing his numbers, like, as I said at the start, like, on paper, Tech Cell definitely seemed better than this guy. Now, having actually seen them in-game and seeing the numbers that they put out, I would say it's fairly clear that Cell is better. I mean, lowering attack is good, like, when we can lower attack, because he's lowering it from his passive and he's lowering it from his super. So that is something to bear in mind as well, like on the turns where he's getting a double super guaranteed and potentially a triple. He's lowering the enemy's attack with his passive and then he's lowering his attack with their super attacks as well. So I mean, it can definitely be useful, I suppose, but like that's the thing, even with Kid Buu, you start lowering his attack, he can still hit relatively hard. Wow, no super, nice. But I love using the Dragon Fist counter thing and there's no super attack. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame because like High School Gohan from last time, High School Gohan is decent, but they definitely kind of held back a little bit with him. And then I think that they've basically done the same thing here with this STR Saiyaman 2, where he could certainly have been quite a bit better without being like, you know, oh my god, he's like game breaking, he's the best free-to-play unit in the game. But he definitely could have been a little bit better than he is, which I think is a shame. Dragon Fist Goku unironically could get killed here now as well because there's no super, so he just has to dodge everything, which fortunately he did. That's my least favorite thing about Dragon Fist Goku, is using the like standby and there's no super. I know you can obviously if you're, I don't like doing it in videos, but I know most people aren't going to care, right, if you're trying to beat a difficult event. But if you use his standby and there is no super, you can just reset the app and then not use his standby. But obviously we don't do that over here. Do we get a chance to actually get an attack off here? The problem is Goku's going to get the Dokkan attack, which will probably just kill him, even if I don't pick up the nodes or hit the nodes. But yeah, I mean, he's providing support to the team, which of course, you know, you think about maybe the best build for this AGL Super Saiyan 3 team, where normally I run AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Dragon Fist Goku, and then the other rotation is Tech Gohan and AGL LR Ulma Gohan. And then you have this guy floating around, giving them the 30% support. Like especially the Goku rotation is going to hit really hard. The Gohan rotation is going to be really strong defensively. The problem is then, of course, if you then just get super attacked in slot 3, then it's going to be a little bit awkward. But yeah, I would say full dodge and then the rest additional, because you can, if you get that third super, then obviously that will help. But yeah, I mean, even for a floating support unit, 4.8 million attack stat is not really anything to get excited about. 4.8 into 5.1. I mean, we can lower this guy's attack, so I mean, it's not like we're going to die here or anything, but yeah, this Buu event is super long. That's why it is good to use for showcases, but we're obviously not going to clear it all the way through to the end. Let me know what you guys think of the STR Super Saiyan 2 Great Saiyaman. I certainly think, as we said, the Cell is better. The card art is cool. The super attack animation is pretty cool. I would love to see like an actual Dokkan Fest, like Gohan in the Saiyaman outfit. Maybe with the animation where he goes Super Saiyan, like when he's raging at the Spopovich and Videl fight. Like, I think that would be kind of cool to have as a unit. But yeah, this guy, despite being kind of cool aesthetically, not really anything special. His only advantage over Cell is the teams that he's on and the links, which are, I would say, a little bit better, a little bit more suited to some of the characters that you're going to run him with. But overall, I would say it's pretty straightforward that Cell is better, especially with that Tech Buu team being as good as it is and being able to just throw Cell on that team as a support. One thing we didn't do that we did for the Cell one is throw the sticker on him, so let's do that at the end here and just see what that looks like, because he does have a Key Blast on the card art, which normally ends up looking pretty cool. Yeah, see, the sticker effect is definitely very cool as well. So there you go, STR Super Saiyan 2 Great Saiyaman. I mean, it's not like he got us killed, but he certainly wasn't super impressive. I mean, if he'd got supered by that STR Buhan, we would be dead. But let me know what you guys think of Super Saiyan 2 Great Saiyan Man down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one. All right. So let's get that uploaded now as well. It's a shame I don't have Topo, because I don't really know the best way to showcase the int Topo without having him. Just run a Universe 11 team with the EZA Jiren, I guess, but... Yeah, I have all of the sub EZA medals farmed up already.
All right, time for some training.
This is J2. Great Saiyan Man. Bit disappointing. I've got so many of these dozing Kais because of that friend banner.
All right, time for training. All right, time for training.
I was thinking, is he actually even on? Because I know he's not on his 200% leader skill, but is he actually on any of Beast's 170s? This STR Gohan? Because I don't think he's on Bond of Master and Disciple. Saiyaman, just J2. Defenders of Justice. It's been how many? It's been what, 2 or 3 days, and the top jokes are already very tedious.
All right.
I don't know why they did that in the dub. It's so annoying. It's like the game spells it Topo as well. Like, why? Why did they do this to us? Training stage gives a higher chance. It doesn't, no.
Strong. I'm getting pretty excited.
I really thought I had this guy. I thought I had the spare copy of him done already. I've got 8 physical Gotenks apparently. Oh yeah, when I've got like this many spare copies, I should really do the actual sub EZA thing. Should have seen Nichigo stream. His chat was clowning him every time he said top. Why? Why would he? Mix it here and call him Tope. I mean, that's what they call the thing when you, in wrestling, when you jump straight over the top rope onto somebody from the outside. It's called a tope. And I mean, Topo does kind of look like a wrestler, I guess, in the fact that he has like a weird kind of outfit and has a like flamboyant entrance and everything.
All right. Time for some training.
It's a Beyblade. Yeah, he does have the spin thing. Yeah, I'll just farm these medals later. I don't need to do Gotenks' EZA showcase straight away. So I'll sort his one out later. I definitely have a spare copy of you.
I'm getting pretty excited.
Have I got like the wrong filter thing on or something?
All right.
I thought I put it. I've got a tag for. Oh, he's not awakened, that's why. No, his rightful name is Topo. Smart clicker still working these days. I mean, the one that I made the video for back in the day is the one that I still use. It still works okay for me. I've had a bunch of people say that, like, as of now, that same one doesn't work if you download it, like, new. But it's a shame that it's a shame I can't just ban the word top in chat, because then we can't talk about things like top grossing and stuff like that. Yeah, Prof of farming the Topo medals. Yeah, if you farm the Topo medals, you also get the Dispo medals, which you can't use for anything. Because the event gives you both of them at the same time. Oh, this guy's done. Yeah, I got the Dispo. I got 2 copies of. I got really lucky, to be fair, on Tech UI's banner, because obviously with all the banners that have been dropping lately, it'd be very difficult to like go crazy summoning for everything. But I managed to get UI Goku and 2 copies of Dispo from the tickets, so that was good. But yeah, we won't have time to do another showcase now anyway, because the showcase, those last 2 were both like 18 minutes. I also got distracted by doing these EZA'S, which I was going to be doing while this was uploading, and now I haven't actually finished setting it up. Well, I suppose it is good to have a bit more of a gap in between the two videos, because how long... Here's my dashboard. How long has the first one been up for? Yeah, literally, I just did the tickets and then didn't spend any stones on the banner. So, like, I still have the discounts available, but I knew I was going to need the stones for Topo, and then I did the cheap ticket pack and like 500 stones and didn't get them. So yeah, see, the first one's only been up for like half an hour. I'll just set this one to go up at 9, I think, and then we'll just post the link as we end the stream. But yeah, make sure you guys go check out the Cell showcase if you have not already. We can close this now. The Saiyaman showcase will be going up in 15 minutes time. Why does it still say draft? Yeah, if you weren't here for the Tech Cell showcase, that video is up now. Do go check that out. The Gohan one will be up in 15 minutes time. We'll be back a little bit later on today for some proper World Tournament grinding. We haven't started it yet. I know it doesn't really matter because by not starting, you're not in the ranking anyway, but I don't really see the point of starting, doing like 1 or 2 wins and then not playing it for X amount of hours. Might as well just start when we mean to actually go ham.
All right, let's do this.
No, the reason why you buy tickets instead of stones is because if you're someone who does spend money on the game, then obviously you could either buy stones or tickets for a banner, but the tickets are only for that one specific banner. Stones you can use for everything. So say for example Topo, if I buy the tickets and then I pull him with the tickets, I still have all my stones ready for the next banner. Whereas if I summon with stones and pull him, I can buy stones to replace the ones that I got. But depending on how much money I want to spend, I could buy the ticket packs and buy stones. Because obviously for some people, like I only ever buy sale stones. I don't buy the full price packs. So it's good for me when a unit comes out. If I pull them off the tickets, I could then buy a couple of their sale packs and save those for the next thing that's coming out. Or if you just get really unlucky, the tickets and stones, it just means you get more summons. Tickets do work out as better value as well for the number of summons you get. So like if you buy a ticket pack that gives you like a 20 unit summon, that's going to cost less than buying 100 stones, which is how much you'd have to do to get like 20 units. So if you're someone who does spend money on the game, the ticket packs, if it's for a specific banner that you want to summon on, because obviously they're only for that banner, but if you're someone who spends on the game, the ticket packs are good value if you want that specific unit. SSJ fraud coup. I mean, he's not going to get an EZA anytime soon, right? He's only like a year old. But yeah, ticket packs also give things like box space, skill orbs, all sorts of random stuff, which is cool. Yeah, that is also true. If you're someone who doesn't care about using items, then that Super Saiyan 4 Goku, if you use like a Whis or something, and then in slot 1 his defense, he's got very high like damage reduction and defense. So same over there. All right. I mean, he was the best character. Well, he had the potential to be the best character when he came out on JP. When he came out on Global, unfortunately, because he released after the worldwide celebration, and when he came out, he just wasn't good in the Dismal Future Red Zone. His release on Global was like super disappointing. Yeah, update the skill orb system and give Super Saiyan 4 Goku a unique equip that gives him -5 dodge. That'd be great.
All right, let's do this.
But yeah, the sync means that stuff like that won't ever happen again. So that's good. Yeah, skill orbs that give damage reduction. We've talked about various different ways they can implement these kind of abilities, right? Like skill orbs or leader skills, like if they don't want to start going higher than 200%, have things in leader skills where it's like, imagine a leader skill like it is now, where it's like a couple of categories get 170, another category or two gets plus 30%, and then have it say like plus 5% damage reduction to all allies that belong to the, and then like one of the 30% categories. So the leader skill then includes 5% damage reduction for all of those characters, and it's active all the time. Now that'd be awesome. Because then it doesn't have to be damage reduction, it could be dodge chance, crit chance, like... Imagine they then release like a crazy super high damage like Broly unit, and he gives everyone under his leader skill like extra crit chance and stuff. This is for Goku's the best because the Omega event got rid of dodge. I mean, he was good on release, but he's just one of those units that he suffered from the same issue that Vegeta and Trunks had, although Vegeta and Trunks were able to manage it better in the meta that they released in, where he is basically locked to being in slot 1, but his defense wasn't good enough to eat big super attacks in slot 1. So it's like, to use him like quote-unquote properly, you have to put him in slot 1, but then if you get unlucky and the boss supers you straight away, then you just die. So, but yeah, Vegeta and Trunks, in terms of Tanabata units and how long they stayed relevant in the meta, Trunks and Vegeta were relevant for way longer. I mean, we used them in a red zone stage the other day and actually won, or blue zone stage. I can't remember which one it was, but we did use them in, it might have been the, was it the Blue Evolution one? Or it might have been UI. I'm not sure. But we used them in a blue zone stage not long ago, just for fun on like a challenge stream, and actually managed to win. So yeah, the leader skills like Bota Miguel. I don't think we'll see something like that kind of high, or well, no, obviously nowhere near that high, but like coupled with an actual proper leader skill as well.
All right, let's do this.
Making my beast to you are full dodge. Hey, you know I'm down with the Royal Blue nickname. But yeah, I call it the Blue Zone out of sheer ease of not saying Supreme Magnificent Battle every time. Yeah, what's the thing that Frieza says when it's... Is it? I can't remember. Is it Resurrection F when he's like taunting him before he transforms and beats the crap out of him? It's like all hail Vegeta, Prince of No One, because kind of is true. Just say SMB. That feels like more effort saying SMB than saying Blue Zone, like in terms of how it rolls off the tongue in a sentence. But yeah, we're just going to say Blue Zone. That's what everybody calls it. It's the superclass version of the Red Zone. All the artwork is blue instead of red, so it's the Blue Zone. I mean, I never call it Royal Blue in my videos. I like the nickname, but like, I don't know. It's also because it's not like a shorter name. That's what, you know, we have all these jokes and memes about characters getting stupid nicknames in Dokkan, in the community. But like, a lot of the time, it's the ones that stick are the ones that make names shorter and easier to say. And like Royal Blue and Blue Evolution are not really... It's like one less syllable. They goofed by not calling it the Blue Zone. I don't know, I think it's kind of a... It's a weird name for like the official thing, because the Red Zone is actually a thing. Like, it's not just something they made up. Like, it's a phrase, it's a term that already exists. But Blue Zone is just... what people, even before it existed, people were like, we need the superclass version of the Red Zone and it should be called the Blue Zone. So that's what everybody calls it. Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody calls it the Ultimate Red Zone, which is technically what it's called. But yeah, it's less syllables overall, but it's like still 2 words. And I'm used to just calling it Blue Evolution because that's what it is actually called. As much as I like the Royal Blue nickname. It was one of the first fan names that I saw for it before we had the official translations. And I always thought it was cool. I just have to remember to call him Royal Blue at some point and shout out to him. No, we're not talking about Dark Blue Vegeta, the terrible Heroes card. But yeah, most people seem to be thinking with the information that we've seen so far that the teaser is for Broly. But... that is true. Royal is 2 syllables. Toon done goofed. I honestly don't think that Dark Blue Vegeta is better than Broly, to be honest. As much as Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly isn't very good, I think he probably is better than the Vegeta.
Right, let's do this.
In fact, doesn't he get a buff? He gets a buff against like fused fires or something. Should try using him against the Blue Zone Gogeta. I'm sure it will not end well. Why do I keep getting non-Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta rotations as well? The Heroes team is usually the easiest and quickest to do Dokkan events, because if you have Vegeta on turn 1 and 2, you can just like back-to-back chain his active skills on turn 3 and 4 and then you just win. But... yeah, exactly. Like, it's a cool name for him because it's like a Vegeta-only form. So, Royal Blue is a cool name, but... I mean, it's okay to not like it, but to say that it doesn't make sense, I think, doesn't make sense. Like, how does it not make sense? The guy that is constantly reminding everybody that he's a prince, getting a unique form to him, and it being called a unique form of Super Saiyan Blue, and it being called Royal Blue. Makes sense to me. Anyway, we're going to wrap up the stream here. Like I say, we didn't have enough time to do another showcase or get started with the World Tournament, but I will be doing a World Tournament stream later. I will finish getting the medals and stuff that I need off stream, so we'll have all the other EZA'S done as well. So do make sure you come by and check out the World Tournament stream later on. No podcast tonight, and then we'll be doing a World Tournament stream tomorrow. So hopefully you guys, if you are going to grind the World Tournament, you get on okay. Have fun with the new EZA'S. Like I say, we'll be doing the rest of the showcases for them across the weekend as well. So that is going to be it from me. I will see you guys all again soon. Have a good one.